When did you start doubting someone so rare? When did you start doubting someone so rare? No, really. Pause for a second and think about that. When did you begin looking in the mirror and seeing flaws before you saw strength? When did your own voice become your harshest critic? When did you decide that what you bring to this world is somehow ordinary? Because here is the truth. You were never ordinary. There was a time when you believed without hesitation. A time when your ideas felt limitless, when you did not measure yourself against timelines, expectations, or other people's achievements. You simply moved. You tried. You dreamed out loud. Somewhere along the way, that certainty faded. Maybe it was a failure that cut deeper than you expected. Maybe it was rejection that echoed longer than it should have.
Maybe it was comparison, scrolling through other people's highlight reels while quietly questioning your own progress. Or maybe it was the subtle weight of responsibility and unspoken expectations that slowly convinced you to shrink. And now, here you are, carrying potential that feels heavier than it should. Let me say something clearly. You are not behind. You are not inadequate. You are not too late. You are in the middle of becoming. Growth rarely feels glamorous. It feels uncertain. It feels like walking through fog, unsure if the next step is solid ground or another stumble. But just because you cannot see the full path does not mean you are lost. Think about Peter Parker before the Spider-Man suit, before the confidence, before the hero moments. He doubted himself. He made mistakes. He lost people. He felt small. And yet what made him rare was not perfection. It was resilience. It was the decision to stand back up when he could have stayed down. You may not be fighting villains, but you are fighting something just as real. Self-doubt, fear, the quiet voice that asks, "What if I fail again?" But let me ask you this instead. What if you succeed beyond anything you have imagined? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the belief that you are capable of it? A mistake is an event, not an identity. A delay is not a denial. A setback is not a verdict. So I ask you again, slowly this time, when did you start doubting someone so rare? And more importantly, are you ready to stop? Do you truly know who you are beneath the noise? Before you build confidence, before you chase achievement, before you silence doubt, there is a quieter, more powerful step. You must understand yourself, not the version shaped by comparison, not the version filtered through other people's expectations, the real you. Most people move through life reacting rather than reflecting. They respond to circumstances and pressure without ever pausing to ask, "Why do I think this way?" Without awareness, patterns repeat. Without awareness, doubt grows unchecked. Self-understanding is not weakness. It is clarity, and clarity is power. If you struggle with procrastination, ask why. Is it laziness or is it fear of failure? If you constantly seek validation, ask why. Is it insecurity or an unhealed need to feel valued? If you avoid challenges, ask yourself what story you are telling about your own ability. Awareness shines light into hidden corners. And once something is illuminated, it loses its control over you. Consider Tony Stark at the beginning of his journey. Brilliant, yes, but reckless, driven by ego. It took a life-altering moment for him to confront his habits and question the impact of his choices. His transformation did not begin with technology. It began with awareness. He recognized his flaws. He accepted responsibility. Then he chose to evolve. Your strengths matter. Your weaknesses matter too. Not to shame you, but to guide you. A strong mindset is not built by pretending you have no flaws. It is built by understanding them without letting them define you. Here is a simple exercise. Take a piece of paper and draw two columns. On one side, write your 5 strongest qualities. On the other, write 5 habits that limit your progress. Then ask yourself, are my daily actions aligned more with my strengths or my limitations? Awareness creates alignment. Alignment creates progress. Your internal dialogue also shapes your external reality. If your mind constantly whispers, "I am not capable," your actions will reflect hesitation. Thoughts are not facts. They are interpretations, and you have the authority to question them. When you catch yourself thinking, I am not good enough, pause and ask, based on what evidence? Replace destructive narratives with constructive truth. I am learning. I am improving. I am capable of growth. The brain adapts to repeated input. Feed it doubt, it strengthens doubt. Feed it confidence, it strengthens confidence. Self-trust is equally critical. When you keep promises to yourself, even small ones, you begin to believe in your own reliability. Choose one small commitment for the next 7 days. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, reading 10 pages, journaling for 5 minutes. Complete it consistently, because consistency proves to your mind that you are dependable. And once you trust yourself, doubt loses power. Where are you actually going? It is powerful to believe in yourself. It is transformative to understand yourself. But belief without direction drifts. Awareness without action stalls. If you do not define where you are going, life will assign you a destination. And most of the time, that destination is average. You are too rare for average. Before you set any target, ask an uncomfortable question. Are your ambitions yours, or are they borrowed from expectation? Do you want success for fulfillment or for validation? Meaningful goals are rooted in personal conviction, not public approval. Take a quiet moment and imagine your life 5 years from now. Not the version designed to impress others, but the version that would make you proud when no one is watching. What does your daily routine look like? What skills have you mastered? What type of person have you become? Goals should not merely answer, what do I want to achieve? They must also answer, who must I become? Vague ambition creates vague effort. I want to be successful sounds motivating, but it lacks clarity. Instead, define measurable direction. I will complete my certification within 12 months. I will exercise 4 times per week for the next 90 days. Precision eliminates confusion. When you know exactly what needs to be done, procrastination has fewer hiding places. Break your larger objective into smaller milestones. If your dream feels overwhelming, you are likely looking at the summit instead of the next step. Focus on one chapter, one workout, one application, one disciplined choice at a time. Progress compounds. Motivation is emotional. Systems are structural. There will be days when you feel inspired and days when you feel tired and discouraged. If your success depends entirely on how you feel, your progress will fluctuate. Structure protects momentum. Create a schedule that supports your objective. Decide in advance when you will work toward it. Remove unnecessary friction. Prepare your environment and track your progress honestly. Without tracking, effort becomes guesswork. You may feel busy, but are you advancing? Maintain a journal. Record daily actions. Note what worked and what did not. Review weekly. Adjust strategically. Remember this: done imperfectly beats not done at all. Perfectionism paralyzes. Progress empowers. What happens when life pushes back, harder than expected? Every path worth walking comes with obstacles. Every dream worth pursuing meets resistance. Challenges are not exceptions. They are inevitable. They are the weight that tests your commitment, the friction that shapes your character. Consider Thomas Edison. Before he successfully illuminated the world with the light bulb, he endured thousands of failed experiments. Yet he viewed every failed attempt not as defeat, but as data. Obstacles are not permanent walls. They are hurdles meant to test your resolve. Most people struggle because they confuse failure with identity. They believe that if something goes wrong, they themselves are flawed. But setbacks are not judgments. They are feedback. Ask yourself, am I failing or am I learning? J.K. Rowling faced rejection after rejection before a publisher said yes. Homeless and struggling, she could have let circumstances define her. Instead, she chose to persist when the world offered her no support. Her story reminds us that the journey to success is often littered with difficulty, but perseverance is the bridge between struggle and triumph. Mental toughness is cultivated in the trenches of discomfort through consistent action and reflection. One powerful practice is reframing adversity. Each challenge carries two interpretations, one that limits you, one that empowers you. When you fail at a task, instead of asking, "Why am I so unlucky?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" When someone doubts your ability, instead of shrinking, ask, "How can I prove myself through action?" Resilience is also reinforced through daily habits. At the end of each day, ask, "What challenged me today, and how did I respond?" Identify one action that demonstrated perseverance. Choose one small activity outside your comfort zone. Repeat statements like, "I am capable of overcoming challenges," until they become instinct. Criticism and external pressure are also obstacles. People may question your ability, challenge your vision, or undermine your confidence. The key is to respond, not react. Reactions driven by emotion escalate stress and reinforce self-doubt. Responses driven by strategy transform pressure into growth. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. He could have internalized that failure as proof of inadequacy. Instead, he used it as fuel. He trained harder. He studied the game more diligently. His story teaches that external negativity can either weaken you or propel you further. The choice is yours. Ask yourself, will I let criticism define me, or will I let it refine me? Every obstacle carries hidden value. Each failure is rich with insight if you choose to look. Resilient individuals extract wisdom from difficulty. They do not waste energy on regret or self-pity. They convert hardship into actionable insight. Are you ready to turn intention into action? Dreams without action are illusions. Vision without movement is just imagination. You can believe in yourself, understand your strengths, and plan meticulously. But unless you act, all of that potential remains dormant. The secret is breaking monumental goals into micro habits. "I want to change my life" is too abstract. But when you divide that goal into daily, achievable steps, momentum begins. If your goal is fitness, commit to 15 minutes a day, not an hour you cannot sustain. If your goal is writing, commit to 200 words daily. If your goal is learning, focus on one concept per day. Small wins compound over time. Momentum builds, confidence grows, habits form. Consistency is not perfection. It is persistence, showing up again and again, even when you are tired, uninspired, or distracted. It is choosing action over comfort. Think of a champion like Serena Williams. Her success was built not just on talent, but on showing up to practice consistently, refining skills daily, and maintaining discipline when no one was watching. Time is the currency of achievement. How you spend each hour determines whether dreams remain distant or become tangible. Start the day with a meaningful action related to your goal. By anchoring your most important task first, you reinforce discipline and set the tone for the rest of the day. When energy fades, use environmental triggers. Leave workout clothes by your bed. Place a notebook on your desk. Schedule study blocks in your calendar. These cues reduce reliance on fluctuating emotion and convert intent into automatic behavior. Do not underestimate micro-progress. 1 hour of focused work daily accumulates into hundreds of hours over months. One disciplined choice compounds into new habits. Each small step is a vote for the person you are becoming. Each completed task strengthens self-trust. Sustaining consistency over months and years requires anchoring your actions in systems rather than moods. Schedule your tasks and treat them like unbreakable appointments. Track progress to reinforce momentum. Adjust strategies, not goals. Celebrate milestones to keep energy high, and always act with intent. Random activity is not progress. Before starting any task, ask, "How does this move me closer to my goal?" Align every choice with the larger vision. Eliminate busy work that does not contribute. Have you realized the power you have been underestimating? Take a breath and reflect. Think about this journey you have just explored, the journey that mirrors the rare potential inside you. You began with one profound question. When did you start doubting someone so rare? You discovered that self-awareness is the foundation of transformation, that a strong mindset is not about being unshakable. It is about perspective, resilience, and the stories you tell yourself. That clear goals transform dreams into achievable steps. That resilience is the differentiator between stagnation and breakthrough. That consistent action turns intention into reality. Everything you need to move forward is already within you. The question is not if you can, but when you will choose to act. Doubt is natural, but it is not permanent. The rare potential you possess has been underestimated, perhaps by yourself more than anyone else. Today, you reclaim that belief. Today, you affirm that your dreams, your talents, and your resilience are real and worthy of pursuit. You are rare, not because your path is easy, but because you have the capacity to rise repeatedly when confronted with difficulty. Rarity is forged in perseverance, honed through reflection, and solidified through action. So take that step, make that call, write that page, train that skill. Start today with purpose, with clarity, and with the unwavering belief that you are capable of achieving more than you have ever imagined. Stand tall, believe fiercely, act relentlessly. You are capable, you are prepared, you are rare, and the time to act is now.